first free throw of the night, and it's followed by the countdown, and again a quick count. Air ball by Giannis. That occurred the other night.
What's up, everybody? It's Coach JB. Today we are talking free throws. There are a ton of ways that people distract free throw shooters, whether it's people dropping their pants or the Speedo guy at the Duke game. People have struggled to make clutch free throws throughout the game of basketball. Hopefully after watching this video today, you'll have a better idea of how you can clear out the distractions and knock down your clutch free throws. Apologies to my guy Jackie Manuel, this one was just too good to leave out. Checking out our top 10 list, we can see that Elena Delle Donne is in first place with 9.384%, and then Steph Curry comes in at second at 9.069%. Now, before we take a look at all the commonalities for all of these great free throw shooters, let's take a look at the sports psychology aspect. Let's talk about visualization. Our brains cannot tell the difference between an actual physical event and the vivid visualization of that same event. A reason for this is that when we experience something and when we visualize that same thing, we activate similar brain circuits. If we take a look at this clip of Mike Commonality, we can see that he is visualizing or rehearsing in his brain the move that he's going to use in the game in order to score a goal. You can see that he's looking at the exact spot on the ice, and then when he gets into the game, he's able to get to that spot and use that same exact move to score a goal. Using visualization can improve all of these different factors when it comes to your sport performance. But there's another important part to the training aspect.
What we often forget is that it's important to close this gap between training and competition. And what I mean by that is practicing under the kinds of conditions you're going to perform under. I think we've all had the experience where we can hit that shot when no one's watching, or 50% of our free throws when no one's there. But when all eyes are on us, we fumble. And so the idea is to get used to how we're going to feel, how our body's going to react in that moment. If we're going to have important people come to an event, like our parents watching us play basketball, make sure that they're there during practice at some point too, so we're not all of a sudden entering a new situation when it matters most.
So making sure that when you are practicing your free throws, you are simulating game situations. So maybe you do this when you're fatigued, or you pump in crowd noise, or you have different people try to distract you, just to make sure that you're getting a game-like environment. Now let's take a look at the commonalities between these top 10 free throw shooters. Alright, first let's look at the master, Elena Delle Donne. She has the same exact routine every single time she shoots a free throw. She catches the ball, she takes 3 dribbles, and then she's going to get her shot set, and then she's going to let it fly. It's the same routine every single time. She does not switch it up, and it is not complicated. Our second commonality that we see is that the best free throw shooters keep it simple. It's not a complicated routine. They step up, they have a small routine, and then they let their shot go. Just as you would if you were to catch it in a game. If we see players who catch the ball and they're open for too long, they generally miss. That's why even if they are wide open, they still like to catch and shoot as if they're being guarded, because they go through that same motion and routine. Now let's check out Elena Delle Donne talking about her free throw routine.
Yeah, so for me, number one, you got to have a routine, and I like to keep it very simple. So step up to the line, find the dot with my right foot, line up, and then I just take 3 dribbles, and from there I make an L with my arm and lift and flick. So for me, the biggest thing is simplicity. I feel like if you keep it simple, less can go wrong. And free throws are so mental that if a little thing goes wrong and you feel it, I feel like you're out of your shot already. So keep it very simple, try not to let anything go wrong, and even self-talk. So right before I shoot it, I say it's going in.
Lastly, let's review self-talk. We did a study with one basketball team, and we split them into 2 groups. Group number 1 kept everything the same and just shot 30 extra free throws after practice. Group number 2 gave themselves either a positive affirmation or a performance cue with their 30 free throws. A positive affirmation is something like in or swish, and a performance cue would be something like follow through or elbow in. When we finished this study, we saw that group number 1 increased their free throw percentage by 10%. On the opposite end of the study, group number 2 saw an increase of 35%. Wanting to make sure that this just wasn't an ability thing, we took group number 1 and added the same positive affirmation or performance cue as group number 2. And then we saw an increase of an additional 15% for group number 1. So based on our study of self-talk, we saw that both groups saw more growth with added positive self-talk or performance cues. Group number 1 saw an increase of 25%, and group number 2 saw an increase of 35%. Now this study alone isn't going to take players like Ben Simmons and change their free throw shooting from atrocious to good, but it is going to help them in a positive way. Let's review. When shooting your free throws, make sure that you have a routine. Keep it simple and short, try to mimic or recreate a game-like atmosphere, and use things like visualization or positive self-talk or performance cues if you're still struggling. Remember, visualization is simply pretending using all of your senses to shoot your free throw. Positive self-talk are doing things like saying in or you've got this, and a performance cue would be something such as elbow in or follow through.